Have you ever wondered how someone who seemed so spiritually enlightened could cause such devastation in your life? If you're nodding your head, you're not alone. We're diving into the shadowy world of spiritual narcissism, a concept that may seem paradoxical, yet is devastatingly real. At its core, it's a potent blend of spiritual manipulation and self-centered behavior, an explosive combination that can wreak havoc on the most intimate of relationships. Spiritual narcissism is not about the occasional selfish act. It's a deeply ingrained pattern of behavior, where individuals use their spiritual or religious beliefs as a tool to exert control, gain admiration, and ultimately, feed their own ego. It's a subtle form of exploitation that can be difficult to spot, often cloaked in a guise of enlightenment and wisdom. Imagine this: a person who manifests an aura of spiritual wisdom, who speaks eloquently about love, compassion, and unity. They appear to be a beacon of light, a spiritual guide perhaps. Yet, behind closed doors, they use their spiritual persona as a tool for manipulation, control, and personal gain. They may twist spiritual teachings to suit their own narrative, using them as a weapon to belittle, control, or even gaslight their partners. They may even convince you that your spiritual growth depends on their guidance, creating a dependency that gives them power and control. The impact of such behavior on relationships can be profound. It can lead to emotional, psychological, and even spiritual damage, leaving the victim feeling confused, betrayed, and spiritually disoriented. But here's the thing: narcissistic behavior, especially spiritual narcissism, is often shrouded in deception. Its perpetrators are masters of illusion, able to project an image of spiritual maturity while concealing their true intentions. They can be charming, charismatic, and seemingly compassionate, making it all the more difficult to recognize their harmful behavior. In the face of such spiritual manipulation, understanding the roots of this behavior becomes a necessity. It's about arming ourselves with knowledge, to recognize the signs, and to protect ourselves from the devastating effects of spiritual narcissism. Imagine a battlefield, not of physical combat, but of spiritual beliefs and convictions. In this psychological battleground, male narcissists may employ a dangerous tool: the manipulation of spiritual beliefs. They exploit and twist religious or spiritual convictions, using them as a weapon to exert control and maintain power over their partners. Picture a puppeteer pulling at the strings of faith, using religion or spirituality as a means of control. The narcissist in this analogy is the puppeteer, manipulating the emotions and beliefs of their partner, using their faith as a means to an end. They might use religious texts or spiritual doctrines to justify their behavior, to normalize their actions, or to guilt their partners into submission. In the depths of such relationships, a spiritual warfare is waged, often unbeknownst to the victim. The narcissist, under the guise of spiritual leadership, might distort religious teachings, bending them to fit their narrative, twisting them to serve their needs. They might present themselves as spiritually superior, creating a power dynamic that leaves their partner feeling inferior and dependent. Such manipulation can be subtle, insidious. The narcissist might use spirituality as a means of gaslighting, making their partner question their own understanding of their beliefs, their own interpretation of their faith. They might use their partner's spiritual convictions against them, making them feel guilty for questioning or challenging the narcissist's behavior. This spiritual warfare can be deeply damaging, leaving the victim feeling spiritually depleted, questioning their faith, their beliefs, their identity. The spiritual manipulation employed by narcissists can be a powerful tool of control, a weapon that leaves deep wounds, invisible to the naked eye. But remember, in the face of such manipulation, it is crucial to hold on to your spiritual truth, to question, to challenge, to seek guidance and support. Do not let your faith be used as a weapon against you. The charm and charisma of these individuals often mask their darker intentions. But beneath the surface, there is a spiritual battlefield, a war of beliefs and convictions. It is a war that can be won, but only when we recognize the manipulation for what it is. A wolf in sheep's clothing, the spiritual narcissist is a master of disguise. He weaves a web of charm and charisma, drawing you into a dance that seems too good to resist. But beneath this alluring facade, darker intentions lurk. The spiritual narcissist employs a potent mix of charm and seduction, not merely to attract, but to control, to dominate. His charisma is not a gift but a tool, a weapon wielded with precision to ensnare and manipulate. But what makes this seduction so potent? It's the spiritual element. The spiritual narcissist knows how to tap into your deepest spiritual desires and beliefs, using them to his advantage. He presents himself as a spiritual guide, a beacon of light, when in truth he is a shadow, a master of manipulation and deceit. In the face of such seduction, understanding the dark side of ego and power becomes crucial. Behind the veil of spiritual enlightenment lies an insatiable thirst for power and control. In the realm of spiritual narcissism, ego and power often become the driving forces. As we delve deeper into this dark side, let's first understand the spiritual implications of narcissistic men ruled by ego and an unquenchable desire for dominance. Ego, in its healthy state, is simply our sense of self-esteem or self-importance. However, in the hands of a spiritual narcissist, it morphs into an inflated sense of superiority and entitlement. This ego inflation is not just harmful, it's spiritually destructive. It disconnects the narcissist from the universal truth of equality and interconnectedness, leading them to believe they are above others, even spiritually. This inflated ego is often accompanied by an intense thirst for power. Power, in this context, is not about leadership or responsibility. It's about control, manipulation, and dominance. A narcissist's power drive can manifest as spiritual manipulation, where they use their perceived spiritual superiority to control and exploit others. The victims, often in relationships with these individuals, bear the brunt of this spiritual warfare. The constant manipulation, control, and emotional abuse can lead to a significant impact on their spiritual well-being. They may begin to doubt their spiritual beliefs, lose their sense of self, and even feel disconnected from their spiritual source. But it's crucial to remember that these are tactics of control, not reflections of your spiritual worth. The narcissist's ego and power drive are distortions of their spiritual identity, not yours. This spiritual journey, however daunting, is not without its lessons. It teaches resilience, strength, and the importance of spiritual self-care. It highlights the need for spiritual discernment, the ability to recognize and avoid such spiritually damaging relationships. But remember, you have the power to heal and protect your spiritual self. You are not defined by their actions, but by your ability to rise above. You are not just a survivor, but a spiritual warrior, capable of reclaiming your spiritual identity and moving forward with strength, wisdom, and grace. The journey to healing from spiritual narcissism often starts with understanding and self-care. It's essential to remember that the harm inflicted by a narcissistic individual isn't your fault, nor is it a reflection of your worth. You are deserving of respect, love, and spiritual peace. To restore your spiritual health, it's crucial to implement practices that promote inner tranquility and self-love. This might include meditation, prayer, or finding solace in nature. Surround yourself with positive, uplifting individuals who respect your spiritual journey and encourage your growth. Also, consider seeking support from a spiritual counselor or trusted religious advisor. They can provide guidance and tools to help you navigate your healing process. Remember, your spiritual protection is of utmost importance. Visualize a shield of light around you, keeping you safe from the negative influences. In this journey of healing, you are not alone. You have the strength and resilience to overcome the challenges of spiritual narcissism. Trust your spiritual discernment to recognize the signs of spiritual narcissism. Spiritual discernment, your internal compass, can guide you in identifying the red flags of spiritual narcissism. Spiritual discernment is like a whisper in your soul, a gentle nudge that guides you towards truth and away from deception. It's a divine gift that helps you differentiate between the genuine and the counterfeit, the authentic and the manipulative. And it's this discernment that becomes your lifeline when navigating the murky waters of spiritual narcissism. As we delve deeper into the realm of spiritual discernment, it's crucial to remember that it's not about a judgment of character, but a recognition of behaviors and patterns. It's about trusting that niggling feeling that something is off, even when everything appears perfect on the surface. So what are these red flags? They might come as excessive charm, a constant need for admiration, or even an uncanny ability to manipulate spiritual beliefs for personal gain. They could manifest as a relentless pursuit of power, a grandiose sense of self, or a lack of empathy that is often hidden behind a facade of spiritual enlightenment. But how do you hone this discernment? It begins by cultivating a deeper spiritual connection. This could mean spending quiet moments in meditation or prayer, seeking wisdom from spiritual texts, or engaging in activities that make you feel connected to a higher power. It's about creating a safe space for your intuition to flourish. And remember, spiritual discernment isn't an overnight process. It's a journey, a process of learning and unlearning, of questioning and understanding. It's about building spiritual resilience piece by piece until you're armed with the knowledge and the courage to confront spiritual narcissism head-on. So, as we wrap up, keep in mind that spiritual discernment is your ally, your beacon in the darkness, guiding you towards light and away from the deceptive allure of spiritual narcissism. Nurture it, trust it, and let it guide you. Remember, you are stronger than you think, and with knowledge and discernment, you can navigate the complex terrain of spiritual narcissism.